is so many nets over here right now. Like, what in the world? That's what I guess. I really don't know. All the snapdragons that I started have died right there. You see it? Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And today we are out here because I got my garlic from Botanical Interest. It was only one head of garlic, right? And so if you remember, I said that I was going to put the garlic into the quick tent bed, the newer quick tent bed. But I think since it's only one clove, I'm gonna put it in the peppercorn green stalk. If you remember, I left the top layer open for garlic, but we also have some other spots in the green stalks where the plants have died. Pretty sure they rotted. If you remember, I said if you put them in deeply and the soil is moist, you run the chance of them rotting and dying. Let me show you what I mean. So we have a few right here. I guess you could really say they're dampening off because this soil is very moist, if you can see that. Like this one I'm gonna leave because the middle leaves look pretty good. This one, not so much. This is, I don't know what this is, but it looks really bad. But then you have others that were probably a bit bigger that survived this very moist soil. But we do have some that did not make it, and that is okay. This one did not survive it. So we have a few things in this lilac green stalk, but if you remember, the lilac green stalk got planted out with probably the worst starts that I had left too. So that makes a bit of a difference too. But I plan to start some spinach and I plan to start some lettuce. So there will be space for me to put that kind of stuff in. But anyway, we got our garlic from Botanical Interest. If you are interested, it is shipping now in a lot of places. So they started shipping in October and I have mine. I've had this in the refrigerator. I do not normally cold stratify my garlic, but this year I'm just trying a bunch of different things to see if they work. So this was in the refrigerator. I just took it out and I'm going to show you how I plant my garlic. Like I said, we're gonna put it in the peppercorn. The other thing that I'm gonna do today is cut the onions. Y'all keep telling me to cut the onions. I was watching Salty Dog Homestead. He gave his onions a haircut. So we have onions and shallots. I feel like I'm gonna cut the shallots too. They're kind of just like onions. We're gonna see how this goes. Don't think I'm gonna cut the leeks, but if y'all think I should cut the leeks, let me know. I've never cut my leeks before. I've also never grown leeks in the green stalk. I don't know that that makes a difference at all. But anyway, we are about to plant these garlic. It is so many nets over here right now. Like, what in the world? It's also probably about to start raining out here. So they come with a guide. But what I was gonna say, I don't know if I finished my sentence. They are shipping now. If you are interested in garlic, then I will have a link down below to Botanical Interest. I am affiliated, but you can get 5% off if you decide to get garlic from them. But it comes with a garlic planting guide, so that's really cool. And with garlic, there's hard neck and soft neck. Depending on where you live, depends on which one you should plant. Now, I will put up on the screen right here, and then you can do a screenshot if you've never grown garlic where Botanical Interest says their garlic grows best. So I want to say they have 12 different varieties and it comes packaged in this little, I don't know, sleeve. And so this is music garlic. Like I said, it's been in the refrigerator. I hear that it is a good one to grow. If anyone has grown music, let me know. So we are going to take off this outside coating. And so I have grown garlic before and I am using garlic from last year. The garlic was small, and in a lot of cases, my garlic started, the casing that I'm taking off now, it started separating from the clove before it was time. And so every year I have to harvest them early. What I'm trying to figure out this year is, one, did I water too much? Because I do think a lot of my issue was I was watering too much. Another thing is everybody's telling me about like how cold it has to be. Not everybody, but a few people have said like it has to be cold for a certain amount of time. We do get cold here, so we are not like a Florida temperature. We get cold here, we get down into the teens, and some years, depending on our weather, like I said in my last video, we've gotten down into the single digits, and it's just snowed for weeks on end. Not like it didn't stop snowing, but like it snowed like every 2 weeks last year. It felt like it was never gonna stop snowing. Anyway, so I understand that it has to be cold and that kind of stuff. What I am trying to figure out this year is, I know some people plant theirs later, like after their first frost, things like that. And I do have other garlic that I plan to do that with. So I have garlic I planted in September that is up. I'll show you before this video ends. It's up and it has sprouted. Now, when it gets cold, that may die back, but as I understand it, it will still sprout again in spring. The whole thing with the cold is so that it can separate into bulbs, and that is what I need. So I planted some in September. It is October, I think the 11th today, and so I'm gonna plant some today, and then I will plant some more in November. And so that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see how it goes. I may even get some and plant some in December, because I think we're gonna have spaces, if nowhere else in the green stalks. So you wanna take the casing off, but the casing that's on the actual garlic clove, you want to leave that. That's a nice size garlic clove. That's the music one. Wow, look how big that is. If these grow, this is going to be awesome. Now, we lost some of the casing on this one. I'm still going to plant it. See, it came off of that side. But the size of the cloves are nice. So we got, what, like 6 cloves so far, which is great because we have 6 spots up there. That's a plus. So, see, nice size cloves for sure. I do think this is a hard neck. And on their website, they said zone 7 and 8 can grow pretty much any of their garlic varieties. So I've always heard that I should grow soft neck. So now we have a hard neck variety too. So cool. And look at that. Nice size cloves. So that's a plus. And what do we have? Yeah, we have 6 total. That's a plus. So I keep saying that's a plus because it is. Because I'm going to put them in this top one. Anyway, we're going to plant these out, and then we are going to move on to cutting the onions. And I kind of want to take the tomatoes out of the green stock today too. Not the ones that have like nice sized tomatoes on them, but the ones where, you know, if a tomato were to grow, it probably wouldn't get big enough, and it definitely wouldn't ripen now. I kind of want to get those taken out. Like I said, we might even start some seeds today. Anyway, I'm not great at growing garlic, and someone told me not to talk negative on it. I'm not talking negative on it. I'm just being real, which is how I run my channel over here, and I'm just not good at growing garlic. When I get good at it, I'll be like, I know how to grow garlic. Right now, I'm still learning. It's been 5 years, y'all. But what I was also saying earlier is the garlic I got last year, I'm still using that to cook. I did not use it. I just would like it to be larger, and I would like it to store better. Some of it in the house that I grew last year, it is starting to sprout. I don't want to plant it again because it didn't do well. And I think some of that garlic came from the farmer's market, and some of it came from my local feed and seed. Now, last year, my local feed and seed put garlic in plastic, and it just sweat. So when I went to plant it, it was just soft, and it did not do well. But anyway, we're going to try this year. We have farmer's market garlic already in the garden bed, and then we are going to save what we have in the house, and we're going to plant that in November. And after my first frost. I'm going to do it after my first frost and see, you know, if that makes a big difference. Anyway, let's get to planting, y'all. All right, so honest truth, garlic is pretty easy to plant. They say 1 inch to 2 inches down. I think the colder you are, the further you need to put it down so it can be protected. But that's simply all I'm doing. You can't see it now because the soil fell. But we're just pushing it down in there and then covering it up. And I imagine this is going to come up before it gets really cold here. And as I understand it, that's okay. So I'm just pushing it pretty far down and then covering it back up. I'm going to do the same all the way around. So I'm excited about this. And I'm going to go get the tag because I already have the tag written out. I put it into the other bed, but I ordered some that you didn't get just a whole bunch of clothes with, which is fine. If they grow nice size, I'll be fine with this. And I'll save some for next year. Honest truth, I may go and order some more just because I really like the size. They look like they're going to get really big. All right, so that's in there. And that green stock was amended with bone meal, blood meal, and a granulated fertilizer, slow release granulated fertilizer. So I think that it will fertilize it just fine. I will also fertilize with fish emulsion until we get too cold and like the soil freezes. But that's what I amended that green stock with when I put it together. So we just gonna grab this tag. That's the Botanical Interest Music. And these are the ones, like I said, that I got from a local person at a farmer's market. They're coming up and looking really good. They do have a little bit of yellow on them. Hope that's not gonna turn into rust. But right now, everything that I planted has sprouted. So we're just gonna watch this. And I did put, I wanna say, the date on there somewhere that I planted it out. And that way I will know. I will know. This is just my process of elimination because I've been planting them, I feel like after my first frost or really late in fall. So we're just trying this if it works. Well, if like some of this earlier one works, then I know that I could plant it earlier. And if the later one works, I know that I could plant it later too. I also feel like they're in controlled spaces this year. So the green stock, and they're all on the top layer. So they're all gonna be fertilized, watered the same. And then having them in the bed by themselves, I can take care of them like garlic should be taken care of, and hopefully get a really good garlic harvest in June or July. I am excited about that. So the garlic is planted out. Now, like I said, I think I'm gonna cut these onions. They're already in here. They're the only onions I have. So this blackberry one has onions in it. And I'm just gonna kind of take off half. As I understand it, it will send energy down to the bulb, I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Onions are not something that I grow well either. Sends energy down to the bulb, and then I guess that's gonna make it send more of the leaves up. That's what I guess. I really don't know. But I will be learning this year. So we're gonna go through all of the green stalks that have alliums in them, and we're gonna cut them. So leeks are alliums, I do believe. So I maybe should cut the leeks too. I don't know. This is me trying stuff with alliums that I don't grow well. So I don't know what I'm gonna name this, but it's gonna be something like that. I'm really happy that this year I have this kind of time to figure things out. So like, I guess if they have a middle one, I'm gonna cut right above that middle one and see what happens. That's what I'm gonna do, because you still have to have some leaf left for photosynthesis. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see. Y'all been telling me to cut them, so I'm listening now, and I'm gonna cut them. They are feeling much stronger though than they were when I put them in here, because if y'all remember, I don't know if we planted these together or not, but they were not strong and I did not take care of them well. I have been fertilizing these with fish emulsion. Onions do like nitrogen. That's another thing that I was doing wrong in the beginning. I was thinking root vegetable, and they're not. Somebody over here actually said onions aren't root vegetables. And I was like, you know what? They aren't. So I was laying off of the nitrogen because root vegetables don't love nitrogen. And somebody said, yeah, they're not root vegetables. So I make sure I fertilize them with a decent amount of nitrogen. And we're gonna move around all of the green stalks and cut them. I'll show y'all the garden too before we, I pulled that all the way out, y'all. Tough. They do have root systems. So that's a plus. They have, I can see that they are growing root systems. Yeah, we're just gonna cut them all down, see how this goes, and then I'll remember for next year how I did this. I think it's gonna rain today. I was trying to get out here earlier. So y'all, I have made it through hanging with my family. My uncle leaves tomorrow. My other uncle left earlier this week. So now though, I'm on to getting my daughter ready for homecoming. She went this morning and got her hair done. She gets her nails done tomorrow. We got to get her makeup. Baby, it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. Y'all, look at this. That blackberry green stalk is taking off, y'all. It's looking good. When it's not super sunny out here, this is a beaut, because they start to limp when it's sunny. But look, how pretty. It's just taking off. And this is what I'm hoping for the other green stalks where the plants have not basically dampened off. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and we're going to have some food to eat soon. Very excited. Very excited about the celery at the bottom. Can y'all see? Look at the celery at the bottom. That looks so good. This is my first year growing celery. I think I mentioned that on my green stalks, it feels like in my backyard, the bottom layer stays more moist than the top layers, which I think is good for celery because I believe celery likes a lot of moisture. So I'm excited about that. Let's move on to the blueberry green stalk because that has onions in it. And those onions are starting to look better too. They look terrible when I first planted them out. So we just gonna cut them on down a little bit, see what happens. But I really want to grow onions. This was one of my main reasons for wanting to get green stalks, and then I got addicted to green stalks. We all know that. But then I got addicted to them, and now I got, what, 11. Also, I ain't gonna lie, I'm thinking about getting that pretty green one. They still have that left. It's being retired. If you didn't know, Greenstock is having a warehouse sale right now. Really good prices on Greenstock. They didn't have a lot left color-wise, but if you were interested and you don't care what color you get, might be a sale for you. There's a link down in my description too. That sale goes on until the 21st of August. So you got, no, girl, we in October, I'm sorry. To the 21st of October. We're gonna follow these, y'all. We're gonna follow these. See, I wanna take this out. I feel like it's shading stuff at this point, and I'm not gonna get a harvest out of it. We probably are gonna take it out before this video ends. That's all of the onions in here are cut now. Do you give your onions a haircut, snip them, whatever you wanna call it? Let me know. I think also my dog is digging into this one green stalk, this yellow one. I don't know what she's digging for, but she's definitely digging in it. And that is unfortunate. This one right here is dug in, I can see it. And then the other day, I came out here and one was dug in and the onion was gone. So pretty sure she's digging in it. I have not caught her in the act just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's her. It's only one row at the bottom, so I'm not tripping. She's not knocking them over or anything, so if I am losing just one row down here, that's fine. I didn't put anything different in here than I put in any of the other ones, so I don't know why she's digging in it. But also, I was thinking if see, this is the other one she dug in right here. I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking if my local feed and seed gets onion starts, I might go and get some of those too, just to see if there's any difference from me starting them from seed to me buying them. And if I'm honest, me starting them from seed I think would work if I would take care of them. But when you are in the thick of summer and it's very, very hot, it's possible that you're gonna stop taking care of stuff. And that's exactly what happened with these onion seedlings. All right, we hit those. Oh, some over here too, in this green one. It's only one row of them, so we just gonna snip them and move on to the others. But I'm not gonna make y'all watch me do that. You've seen me do it now. I'm gonna finish cutting the ones that's in the newer green stalks, the black and the peppercorn, and then we probably gonna go ahead and pull these tomatoes out. It's really no point in keeping them, I don't think. All right, so that's done. We're gonna get these tomatoes out now. There are little tomatoes on here. I just don't see the point. We're just gonna leave the two that's in this pink blossom. We'll leave those, and then these two that's in this blackberry, we're going to take them out. And this one actually was the one that had broken. I just didn't give it time. Y'all see it now? It looks fine, but it's too late. Like I said, these are Purple Rain tomatoes, and I am going to plant them in the greenhouse next year. So I'm just cutting it at the base right now, just to get the plant out, and then I'm gonna pull the whole thing out of the green stalk. So, Purple Rain gone. We do have a little green tomato on here. It's a tiny one. And then we just gonna pull it out. And this is how I did it for pretty much the whole season. One sec, I gotta go get my hori. Now, there will be roots left in that middle section for sure. My plan is to do a full amendment, like take it apart in spring. I don't do that in the fall. I'm not going to unless I see that my fall plants don't grow well this year. But this is my first year, so this is my plan. I cut it out with the hori, and then I get the soil off and put it back in there. And then we got the root ball out. So whatever we plant in this pocket should have space for the roots to start to stretch out. And then I imagine the ones in the middle should start to break down. So that pocket is done. I will also come through and amend this pocket with some granulated fertilizer, bone meal, and blood meal before I plant it out again. And we're gonna do the same thing over here with this one. The plants were really nice, but it just took forever in my backyard for them to start producing. But next year, going in the greenhouse, before the last frost, I'm pretty sure that's what I did with the ones that were in there. I think I have to go back. But look how nice that plant was. That was a nice plant, but just didn't get started quick enough for me in my space. And we need to do the eggplant too. We have a few on there. I'm just gonna let them go for a few more days, but I'm gonna get those out too. The only thing that's really gonna be left from the summer by the time we get our first frost is all of those peppers that's in the bags and the tomatoes that are in the bags. And I did water those the other day. So now those tomatoes are gone. We are going to pretty much, I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been doing with the stuff that I pulled out. I'm just throwing it over to the orchard area. It'll go back down into the soil, and we redoing the orchard area anyway. So for me, it just like composting in place, honest truth. That is what I'm doing with the plants that I have been pulling out that I cannot give to the chickens. I don't give my tomato plants to my chickens, and I said cannot. I will say that I will not, because I know people do give their tomato plants to the chickens. I just don't. I don't give any of the nightshade plants to the chickens, but I'll give them the cucumbers, the squash plants, but I don't give them nightshade. I just personally don't do it. Do you give nightshades to your chickens? Just wondering, because maybe I read something that was not right. But I just don't. As I understand it, they could be poisonous to the chickens. So I don't want to take any chances. I've been thinking about when I'm going to take my compost bin down, because I really am not going to use it no more. I'm pretty sure of that now. So now we have finished this one, and I'm excited about that. So we basically have strawberries and onions in here now. No more tomatoes. We're going to leave those, see what happens. And this, we're going to throw into the greenhouse where I store stuff at right now. Just for now. I am trying to start cleaning up behind myself, because there's not a lot of work that has to be done. So it's really no point in me leaving a mess when I could just clean it up. It's not a lot. By the way, all the snapdragons that I started have died, and the rosemary that was left has also died. So we're gonna restart those, probably get them out in the spring, because I just feel like it's a little too late now, which, you know, actually, maybe not. But we're going to get them restarted. If I can get them to a nice size before January or February, then I'll plant them out before we get cold in January and February. I missed one of these plants over here that I needed to snip. We're going to see, y'all. We're going to see how this goes. So let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely about to rain. It's definitely about to rain. Did I show y'all this? I feel like I did. Remember I told y'all that had died? It did not. That is that other fig that's in the bag that I need to get out of there. And this fig looks amazing. I didn't get any figs this year, but that's okay. The plant itself looks good. It's probably gonna die back in the winter here, but it should come back next year. But the plant itself looks pretty established, so I'm excited about that. Give y'all a quick look into the greenhouse. We finally are not getting eaten up in the leaves in the middle, are finally growing nice in the middle. So I'm excited about that. If you remember, I had a bunch of caterpillars in here. I had to replant, but even the stuff that we replanted is still looking good. That's my Godzilla broccoli. It's actually looking pretty leggy, probably because it's not getting a decent amount of sun, but we're gonna leave it and see what happens. It's absolutely how I'm learning to grow in the greenhouse. I did the same thing in the summer. I was like, we just gonna put stuff in here and see what happens. And I learned some valuable lessons for the summer. I feel like I'm gonna do the same thing for fall. Anyway, the main garden, looking good, looking good. Still haven't seen any actual broccoli heads growing just yet, but I do be checking, y'all. I do be checking. But it's looking good. These back here that were getting eaten up, you can see, you know, once I was making sure I came out here, the middle leaves are looking good. Same thing with those collard trees back here. All of the tomatoes. But we're not doing a garden tour. I'm just showing you what's going on. By the way, one of my, what do you call that thing? Dipper gourds fell off. Just fell off the plant. I'm going to go get it and show you. But the garden itself, y'all, looking real good. And my cabbage is looking like it wants to head. You can see we do have some pest damage. These are kohlrabi leaves, but I honestly think it's like snails because I'm not seeing any worms or worm eggs. I think it's been a little bit of snail damage, but everything still looks really good. But look, one of my dipper gourds fell off. It's like it rotted at the top, but honestly, I don't want the top anyway. I want this bottom section. So we're gonna take this and probably put it into the newer greenhouse and just let it sit. Hopefully it can dry out in there and we can still use it. Because I just want the bottom part because I'm planning to make bowls out of it. That's my plan. Pretty sure that was a spider web, y'all. I don't really like walk through the garden constantly like I do in the summer. And so the spiders are able to kind of stay where they are. Because like I say it all the time, fall is just an easier planting time. It really is. So I put that in the greenhouse. We'll see if it'll dry in there. It fell off. It was literally nothing I could do about it. Yeah, y'all, like, look at this. Pretty sure this kohlrabi is ready to go. It's a nice bulb on it already. I'm gonna give it a little more time, but it's got a nice bulb on it. There's another one over here that has a nice bulb already too. Right there, you see it? That's got a nice bulb on it too. So we'll be harvesting kohlrabi within the week. And I'll be making kohlrabi fries. Also, pretty much all of the collards, once we get a frost, I'll be able to start pulling off of those, harvesting the leaves. I do cut and come again. So I just pull the leaves off from the bottom, leave the top, and the plant will continue to grow. So that's what I do with those. Look at these. Like, those are my Alabama blue collards right there. And then these are my top bunch. They look so good, y'all. I'm so excited. The first time I ever did a fall garden, I did my collards in this bed and they did so well, which is why I decided this was gonna be a whole bed of collards this year because it worked. And I do think that, making sure I did bone meal, blood meal, and that I'm using fish emulsion this year was helpful too. I literally reverted back to the first thing I was doing when I first started doing fall gardening, and it worked. It worked, and I'm excited about that. So that's pretty much the video today. I don't feel like starting no seeds right now. I need to. I really do. My spinach and my lettuce, because I want to start planting more lettuce because pretty much all the lettuce we had was not in good shape. So I want to start planting more lettuce out pretty much in the green stalks, replacing the ones that's already in there. But anyway, that is the video for today, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all. By the way, I've started cleaning. This is also the time of year where I start to clean things up. And so I've cleaned up the porch, super excited. Still need to clean all of my Bootstrap Farmer trays. If you're interested in those, there's a link down in the description too. I am also affiliated, but love those things. They made this year much easier for me. My aunt gave me a freezer. So this is where I'm gonna start putting my tomatoes and things that I'm saving to work on in the off season, and the things that I preserve. So got that on the back porch. There's no room in my house. Move the worm bins. By the way, worm bins are doing amazingly. I'll show them in another video. Really don't feel like opening that and stuff today, but they're doing really good. And somebody, Pepper Rookie, I believe, said save the boxes, use them for the weeds by the chicken area. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do, which is why we still have all of those boxes, but at least I broke them down. And then, like, everything is clean. We love that for me. I also cleaned the laundry room where I start seeds at. Even though I'm probably gonna start some herb seeds and just get them to growing now, because I may be able to put those out. Herbs are perennial in my area, and I think if I could get them big enough and established, and I may may do it after my first frost because like I said in my last video, we might get a frost and then not get another frost for a few weeks. I just need them to get established before we get frost. So I'm probably going to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that when I was walking up on the porch, I said I didn't tell them I was cleaning. And I'm about to start using this area. So peaceful, like late in the evening, come out here, read or watch YouTube on the back porch. Oh, somebody had sent me some more lights. I had them on my wish list. These don't work anymore. So I'm also going to get those up too so that it could just be like a peaceful little spot for me to enjoy the fall before it gets way too cold out here. But anyway, that was just a little extra tidbit. Bye y'all.